was forgetting again a young pastor who kept saying, we've got to talk about these economic issues. We've got to talk about these labor issues. Please welcome that young man who has stood with us throughout this struggle, the Reverend Jesse Jackson!
Sincere thanks to you for your kindness, for your will to justice. We're sitting in the classroom in Atlanta, Georgia, in Dr. King's office, rather, preparing to go to Washington for the Full News campaign. You said between the rise of militarism, racism, economic exploitation, we must go beyond the historical boundaries and create a new America. So some whites and Appalachians, some Native Americans, some Latinos, some Jewish allies from New York, led by Al Lowenstein, some Latinos from Southwest Texas and Arkansas, some blacks from Deep South decided to go to Washington, preparing to engage in necessary civil disobedience to shift the budget from the war in Vietnam to the war on poverty. You received a telephone call from Reverend Kyles, Jim Lawson. You got to stop by Memphis. Sanitation workers are fighting for collective bargaining, for public recognition, and for justice. The moral authority of those workers was astounding. Their cause was overwhelming, so we went to Memphis, to the root from the geography, but not from the agenda. Those workers, two of them, are brought to be with us today because they represent such a compelling moral case. Memphis, Tennessee, a sanitation worker for the Nickel. These are sanitation workers from Memphis, Tennessee. Say thank you. For being just. Thank you for caring. Thank you for loving. Somewhere in the midst of that struggle, you sought to make the American land of all of our dreams. We marched, and that was a march, and the government had disruptors in the back of the march. So when your governor said they considered putting provocateurs in the demonstration, but it might not go well on television, that was an old script that happened to Dr. King in Memphis as they sought to discredit him. But these men and their wives kept on marching. A mass rally at Mason's Temple Church on April the 3rd, 1968. And the next day, well, I'm talking all of the day about our future plans for ending war, ending greed, and fighting for justice. It's time to go to dinner around 6 o'clock. And we was coming across the courtyard. Dr. King came out and noticed Jesse was late again. Actually, he was late, an hour late. He said, Jesse, we're going to dinner, you don't have all the time. I said, Doc, it does not require time for eating. The prerequisite is an appetite. He said, you're crazy. And we laughed. He asked a friend of his, Ben Branch, won't you play tonight the song Precious Lord? And Ben said, I will. He raised his hand. I said, Doc. And then the bullet hit him in the neck. He was killed, murdered instantly, 39 years old. In similar ways, America's before and after